When I tell individuals post-divorce that it's really important that they forgive their partner, they look at me like I'm insane. And they start the whole litany of, surely, Mary Jo, you can't be serious. This guy did this, or she did this, and this, and this, and this, and this happened. And it can be overwhelming. And when someone tells you that it's important to forgive, I get it. Like, no, I won't. I will never forgive them. I think it's really important, though, that you do forgive, because when you forgive, you're doing it for yourself. And not only are you doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for any children the two of you have. After a divorce, there are so many wounds that you just feel your partner inflicted. But the first thing I want to remind you is, in any marriage, anything you created with another person, there's responsibility on both sides. Yes, one partner may have acted out more, but that doesn't mean what was harboring in each person's heart was not similar. So if I can take you that far and help you understand, I've got some other reasons why I think it's really important for your mental health that you practice forgiveness. The first reason is because you can. Everybody has that choice to forgive. And when you think you're going to hold on to stuff and punish them in your head or pick pins in them like a voodoo doll, you are only furthering the wedge you have in your own heart. You're only putting obstacles in front of you that are going to limit not only your chances to heal, but your chances to attract possibly another love at a later time in your life. When I say the reason to forgive is because you can, what I'm saying is you have a choice, and your fate, what happens, largely depends on how you enter this next crossroad about whether you should forgive them, whether you're going to practice forgiveness. But from a mental health status, what I'm seeing for both partners and children after a divorce with all its emotional wounds, forgiveness is going to take you the furthest. Secondly, I think it's really important because forgiveness is a form of satisfying revenge. If you think about it, every book you read says the best form of revenge is to be happy. Well, practicing forgiveness is a way of telling the other person, the person in your head, your thoughts, that you are not going to allow the negative past or the hurt from the past to control your future, your present, and your future. Let's think about it. If you're always talking bad about your partner, what that's doing is that negativity is being experienced by you. It's raising your cortisol levels. It's taking a hit on your immune system. You can honestly make yourself physically and emotionally sick by punishing your partner in your head. And not only that, when you seek revenge on someone, you're going down a pretty dark, bumpy road, and you are not nice to be around. And what happens is eventually your friends, family are supportive maybe in the short term, but long term, they're going to go on with your lives. And if you are still carrying this huge chip on your shoulder, this anger, this grudge over something that happened in the past, you're going to have to stand on the hill all alone. When your kids grow up, they may need you now, but once they grow up and they can observe things differently and see the person you've become, they may say, well, gee, mom or dad was really whack with all this revenge and holding a grudge. They allowed this old hurt to limit their life. They became part of their past. The kids aren't going to be around it either. And their opinion of you is going to completely change because you've distorted it with your sense of unforgiveness. It's another reason I'm really preaching forgiveness after a divorce. Thirdly, forgiveness is a gift you keep on giving. And it keeps on giving too, because when you forgive, I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. And I'm not even saying you're still not going to slip slide and go back to feeling angry sometimes. What I'm saying is you are going to continually say, I'm practicing forgiveness because I love my children and I love life more than I love this anger I'm hanging on to. And once you can move past that, holding on to that, forgiving your partner, you're going to see the whole rest of your life opens up. You're going to change. Your whole demeanor is going to change. You're going to understand when you forgive your partner along with that, you're going to start forgiving yourself. Because I think a lot of times what we do is we're so angry at our partner. And not most perhaps, but a lot of that anger is because of we are angry at ourselves, for getting ourselves into this mess, for not listening to our instincts, to not listening to our guts from the beginning. Listen, I hear it all. And what I'm trying to tell you is when you practice forgiveness, you are giving yourself a gift, which is going to give a gift to everybody's life you touch. When you look at yourself, it's probably a lot of people who you can also give negativity to, but they'll stick around when they're getting the gift of the practice of forgiveness. They will not stick around when all they're hearing is revenge and a chip on your shoulder from the past. And lastly, your self-esteem is going to go up when you forgive. If you think about it, when you're ruminating about the past, about the way somebody treated you badly or what they did to you, in the end, we all get taken advantage of sometimes. I get taken advantage of sometimes. You get taken advantage of sometimes. But what you have to remember is when you remind yourself of that, it lowers your confidence. You start becoming that very person they thought you were, somebody they could take advantage of, weak, no boundaries, whatever they said. So when you stop doing that, when you start saying, you know what, I'm going to practice forgiveness because I have a choice, because it's a mindful thought, it's a mindful perspective. I'm going to practice how it feels to release. So you get this really bad feeling, you get this really awful memory. You tell yourself, I'm going to pray and I'm going to breathe through this. And eventually it will lessen. Eventually you will stop feeling that way. And eventually you're going to feel better because let's face it, when you're forgiving someone, it already elevates you as a person. So it's with feeling better about yourself, with seeing that as the highest virtue, because it essentially is. It's mentioned in the Bible, it's mentioned in the Torah, it's mentioned in every spiritual and psychological book, that when you practice forgiveness, you boost your immune system, you boost your cardiovascular system, and you boost your confidence, and you're feeling like you are a good person. Yes, you had a part in this marriage and it failed. It was a disaster, whatever you want to call it, but you chose to practice forgiveness. You're going to stay involved with life. What's important, and I think therapists make this mistake, is we tell people you got to forgive them. Forgiveness isn't a day thing. Forgiveness is a life thing because those old memories keep coming back. But eventually they will soften and you'll be invested in your children's lives, in your friends' lives, possibly a new partner's life, and those things will become less and less and less. What I do oftentimes when I need to forgive someone is I picture them as a small child because basically there's times every child gets hurt. And if I see all those wounds as just a big bundle of what they sometimes will give out, it's easier to forgive it. But mostly I practice forgiveness because it's a strength, makes me stronger, makes me more courageous. And unless you can forgive your partner, you won't be able to find love again. If this video is helpful for you, I would love for you to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.